Hello everyone, my name is George. I'm here at Coventry University for another episode, and today I have one of our visiting students from China. Yes. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Yahui. I'm from southern China.
Whereabouts in southern China?
Jiangsu province, but many of you may not have heard about it. It's close to Guangdong province.
Okay, so today we're talking about food and the culture differences between China and the UK. So, yes. What food is popular in your province?
Oh, in my province? Okay. There's a lot of food, but I don't know the English name, so I have to say that in Chinese. The name of the food can be 江西炒粉, which means the fried rice noodles, and we also have local flavors like shots in Shui County. Kind of. It's much more like a rice pudding, but it's a little bit different.
Okay, so I know in most areas of China, people are very proud about their food.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah, exactly.
I spent a lot of time in Shanxi, and they always talk about noodles, vinegar.
Yes, 刀削面, yeah.
Normal noodles, vinegar, all the rest of it. Anyway, we're here to talk about the differences between food in China and the UK, which are many. Let's start to talk about, now you're then living in the UK, so what do you do every day for food while you are here?
Well, that's hard to say because, that depends on my mood. Sometimes I want to cook, then maybe I will make some good dishes for myself, but sometimes I'm too tired after the classes. I just grab a toast and then eat it.
So, one of the things then, as you said, is the cooking your own food. Obviously, for many students from China coming to the UK, in China you have your dormitory and you don't have access to a kitchen.
Yes, we don't have access to kitchen, and students in China on campus, they usually go to canteen to have their meals. So they do not to prepare for the food, and they don't have to do the dishes. But the limitation is, maybe they do not like the food, but still they don't have other choices.
Yeah. So, however, in the UK, most of you, whether you are in the student accommodation, whether you're renting your own apartment, you will have a kitchen.
Yes. And I have to cook for myself, which I struggled a lot.
You struggle a lot. Also, we do have food where you can eat outside, but it's just a little more expensive than in China.
Not a little. Oh, come on, not a little more. It's very expensive here.
So you can't. So could you cook before you came here?
I cannot. I have to say, to be honest.
This is not uncommon. But I think for girls and boys looking to come to the UK, one of the big pieces of advice: learn to cook. I would say that's general good advice. General good advice: learn to cook, because if you like to eat, you should be able to cook.
Yes.
And if you have a special dish you like, some taste, learn it. Usually you're going to have to go to your mum or dad to talk. Probably your mum or your gran.
I'm learning by myself.
Yes. Now you're learning by yourself. It's, oh my word, what do I do? So there are certain differences. You mentioned before we had this chat that you recently went to visit a homestay and a family.
Yes.
Now that's a great opportunity to learn more about maybe the real, some of the culture difference. So what struck you, or what did you find different about that experience?
Because I've been here for about half a year, but that is my first time to visit a host family. A very nice lady treated me, and I spent 2 nights and 2 days with her. Perhaps the most impressive thing is what they have on dinner, which is quite different from what I had in China. The first night I came here, they served me I don't know what that is, actually. They call it a fish pie or something like that. It's made of fish, and always potatoes, you know that.
Always potatoes.
Yeah.
Every meal.
Yes. Yes.
We have
but
so
that was
many ways
good.
to
I
cook
have to
potato.
say that was good. Well, it was quite special and different from what I have tasted before.
So just to be clear, when that would be a fish pie, so it would be in a large bowl,
Yeah.
sort of a fish, very thick fish soup.
Yes.
And then on top potatoes, sort of,
Yes,
mashed
potatoes.
potatoes.
Yeah, like
mashed
a
potatoes
paste,
on top,
yeah.
maybe a little bit of cheese.
Yes, cheese.
Yeah, I know, fish pie. So
Yes.
you like pie?
Yes,
I've heard of it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yes.
and what was there a different? Obviously, I spent a lot of time in China. I know that when I've gone to visit people's houses and when I've gone to families,
They could be very enthusiastic.
they go. Well, I don't want to say they go crazy. That's not
They
right.
were never
But the first time I met my now mother-in-law, the reason she liked me is that when I first went to her house, she of course went and cooked many dishes.
Yes, yes.
Now we have a slightly different culture in the UK,
Yes.
and I was grown up. Whereas when I was growing up, I was always told to finish my plate.
Yes.
In the UK, that's polite. You finish what you're given. Because,
Yeah.
again, they give you the food. You should finish the plate and do it. And that's a sort of polite thing to do.
Yes.
In China, however,
You don't have to finish it.
you can't finish it. You shouldn't finish it, I believe.
Yes.
Because they will keep giving you more.
Yes, yes.
So, of course, I've been taught, finish your plate, and this lady keeps giving me more and more food. And I ate so much food that day.
Oh, yes, I understand you.
I ate so
That's
much food. I
what
was
we
trying to
usually
be
do in
polite, and I was
China.
like, I'm sorry, I can't eat more. And that was after I'd been in China just a month or two. Anyway, so have you had any interesting things with the food?
No,
or the
not
restaurants?
just you. Well, even as a Chinese, well, when I go to visit one of my relatives or friends and have
Yep.
meal with them, they will never stop giving food to me.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, this is good. That is also good.
Yes.
Haven't tasted it.
Putting things into
Yes,
a bowl, which
yes,
again, don't do
yes.
that in UK.
Yes, and well, in the end, my bowl is like a mountain of
Yeah.
food.
So, well, for people coming here, we've mentioned again, they should cook. Now, obviously, then they'll need to go and buy food.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of, well, where do you go to buy food around here?
Sainsbury, I think, because it's the nearest supermarket I can find. And sometimes I go to the Chinese supermarket, you know that.
There are several Chinese markets in
Yes.
here, aren't they? Which ones do you like?
Not particularly. Well, I just go to them. Which one is closer? Then I will choose it.
Yeah, no, it's good. You can get all of the tastes of home.
Yes,
They have lao gama and hot.
Oh, you know.
things.
Oh, yeah.
So you can get these things. You don't need to bring those dishes across with you. That's.
Yes.
And the other thing I wanted to mention again.
May I ask you a question?
Absolutely, please do.
Have you ever watched a documentary called A Bite of China?
No, I haven't.
No, oh my
I don't, is this a BBC documentary?
No,
or
it's not a BBC
Chinese
documentary. It's
documentary?
shot in China. It's a Chinese document. It talks
No.
about the Chinese food culture in China, which is very good, and I strongly recommend you to watch it.
I'll have a look. I nearly took. I
You
actually
never
auditioned for a cooking show in China. They didn't want me, but I went in and talked to the producers, and they wanted a
Yes.
foreigner to go around and eat food.
Yes,
That
and
was-
there
didn't
are
get it.
many seasons about that, and almost every season of A Bite of China make a hit among audience rating in China. So,
Okay.
well, almost every Chinese like it because it's really well. I don't know how to say. After you watch it, you will definitely be hungry,
Yeah.
and you will strive for food.
Oh, I like that. And so I also want to ask, because something we find coming when we find going across to China, we have to use chopsticks.
Yes.
You have to use
Yeah.
quieter. So this is an often, and I've often had meals with my Chinese friends
Yes.
who have trouble with knives and forks.
Oh.
How do you find using a knife and fork?
Well, I have to say, compared with chopsticks, I think, well, knife and forks is much more easier to handle.
Yeah. So you hear that? Especially with rice. So, did you practice before you came, or is it just
I
something
didn't
you've done
practice,
before?
I just come here.
Excellent.
And then grab on it.
Of course,
And
and-
also I have
Yeah,
chopsticks.
of course. Whenever I go to China, people are always looking. You can use chopsticks.
Well, that's amazing.
You can
Yes.
use chopsticks. Wow. So
Yeah.
well, you could use a knife and fork.
Yeah.
Well, Yahui, thank you very much for joining me.
Well, thank you very much.
Okay, and if any of you who have been watching have any further questions about food or the culture differences around it, please leave a comment or ask further questions. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
it?
That's it. Yeah, I'll
Wow.
take that.